the hair. All right, I guess we'll do this. I wasn't going to do this video today, but my girlfriend pointed out that I actually took a shower today and did my hair, which is pretty rare because we have a 2-year-old. So, in honor of me bathing and I just feel pretty, we're going to make this video. So, I switched from Canon to Lumix, the S5 Mark II to be exact. I love this camera. It's amazing. We'll get more into that. Probably should have saved that to the end, but surprise, I love it. Now, I was a Canon shooter for ever. Since I first got into this about 6 years ago, I was a Canon shooter. I started with the 80D, which was an amazing camera, crop sensor, but still amazing. Great photos, great video, great weapon in case someone tried to mug you. That thing weighed a ton. Then the mirrorless camera craze happened, I guess, and I jumped in the bandwagon. Started with the RP, then the R, and then finally got to the R6. Amazing camera line. I loved them for photography. Videography, that's a different story. It's very well known that the Canon mirrorless line overheats during video, and that's a problem when you live in San Antonio, Texas, because it's hotter than Hades here. And I shoot mainly weddings, so again, I need a reliable camera that's not going to overheat. On 2 occasions, the R6 overheated on me. One during a wedding, in the middle of a ceremony. We were in a chapel, wasn't that hot. There's AC. I wasn't shooting 4K 60, I was shooting 4K 30, and about 20-something minutes in, it overheated and shut down. Luckily, I had a B&C camera, so I was covered, but still, that was an issue. And then about, 2 weeks later, I was shooting a live band in a club, and again, wasn't that hot. It was warm, but not super hot. And again, about 20-something minutes in, 4K 30, started overheating. So I just couldn't trust the camera anymore. And since I'm a hybrid shooter and I was starting to get more video work, I needed something I could rely on because I'm usually a solo shooter. So if I have a B cam on a tripod, I need to be able to set it and forget it. And I couldn't do that with Canon. So I started doing my research and I heard all the buzz about this baby, the S5 Mark II. And did a little more research and decided to make the jump. Sold all my Canon gear, picked up 2 bodies, some lenses. They were having these crazy rebates when I bought these a few months ago. Rebates on the bodies, on lenses, probably saved about $1,500. So I just jumped at the chance. And I do not regret it, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It is a great camera. There are some caveats, some issues, which we'll talk about. It is a video-centric camera. It's Panasonic's Lumix. You should know that going in. It is going to lean towards the videographer, but it does take amazing stills. It is an amazing still camera, but the new Phase Detect autofocus does have a few issues when it comes to photography, mainly the human detect. For example, like with the Canon line, if I set up a focus box and then turned on human detect or eye detect, it would only focus on humans or faces that were inside that box. If I try to do that with the Lumix, as soon as I turn on human detect, it starts trying to detect all the humans in the entire scene instead of just what's inside the box, which is a problem if you're shooting weddings and you have a bunch of faces in the shot. I'm pretty sure this can be fixed with a firmware update. Panasonic, if you're listening. Probably not, but if you are, I believe in you. Get it done. But again, the photos it takes are absolutely amazing. Beautiful colors. I cannot complain. And again, the video, out of this world. So let's go into the pros and cons. Pros, the looks. First of all, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. It's so cute. It's so pretty. It's awesome. I love the feel of it. This looks very premium and feels premium in your hand. I put cages on all my cameras. It just makes me feel a little more safe. It has saved me a few times. Plus, it gives you a little extra grip there on the bottom there for your pinky. So these are like little newer cages. They're like $60 on Amazon. Definitely worth the money. But I love how it looks. I love how it feels. The next pro, no overheating. This thing is not going to overheat. It has an internal fan. You probably know that from any research if you've done any. It has an internal fan in here, and so far I have not had any problems with overheating. I had my B cam running once, and I had forgotten to turn it off, and it ran the entire time until the battery ran out. No issues, so that's good. Stabilization, another pro. Hands down, probably the best stabilization on the market today for prosumer cameras. You can't beat it. There are times I just don't feel like pulling out the gimbal and I just need to do a quick push or pull shot. You can do that handheld, no problems whatsoever. Next Pro, low light. This thing is amazing in low light. You have nothing to worry about. I've shot up to upwards of 10,000 ISO, maybe a little higher. Might need a little bit of post-processing scrubbing of the noise, but other than that, the low light performance on this camera is absolutely amazing. Another pro, it is a video-centric camera and you have so many different video formats and codecs to shoot in. It's amazing. I haven't even got through all of them. The main one you've heard about is 6K Open Gate, which is a game changer. Right now I'm shooting on my Lumix S5 Mark II in 6K Open Gate, horizontal, normal, and if I want to, I can just bring in the sides there, no problem, and I don't have to reshoot this. Another great pro is that Lumix does not purposely handicap their mid-range cameras like someone else does, Canon. For example, with my R6, if I wanted to use an external monitor, when I plugged it in, I would lose the capability to use my back screen, which was just a dick move, Canon. Why would you do that? So I had to pick one or the other, which was stupid. But Lumix does not do that. If you put an external monitor on here, hook it up, you'll have access to both monitors and the touchscreen. So that's huge for me, huge. Now the cons. No camera system is perfect. Anyone that says there is, they're lying. This one is not a huge deal for me. I just don't know why it just doesn't bother me that much, which is the 4K 60 crop. There is a crop on here. It doesn't really bother me that much because if I needed to shoot something slow motion, I'll just switch it to 1080p 60, which looks great, by the way. I have no problem with the HD video coming out of this, and I can get my slow motion through that, so it's not a big deal. Then the other con, which I already talked about, is the autofocus with the photos. Again, I think that can be fixed with a firmware update. And then the last one, which is kind of a con, but kind of not, is the battery life. It is not great. It's not horrible. It's not like Canon RP horrible with those little tiny batteries, but it's not great. But going back to the pros, you can actually hook up an external battery to this and charge your batteries while you're using it, which is something else Canon would not allow you to do on their cameras. If you turned on the camera, the battery would stop charging, which again was such a dick move, Canon. Why would you do that? Stop doing that. So if I have a long day shooting, I can hook up my external battery, just throw it on my belt, and it'll charge the battery the entire day. That works great. In closing, I'm very happy with my decision to switch. This camera is great. I'm very happy with the system. I'm going to stick with it for quite some time. Now, should you switch? Well, it depends. If you're straight photography and you're happy with the results you're getting, then I would not switch. It's a pain in the ass to sell your gear. You got to deal with a bunch of lowballers and all that crap. I would just stick with it. But if you're a hybrid shooter or you want to become a hybrid shooter and you're starting to get more video projects, then I would highly recommend checking this out. Maybe rent one for a while and see how it feels. But honestly, this is a great camera system and I can't recommend it enough. Well, that's the end of this video. Again, my name is Todd Larson. I am based out of San Antonio, Texas. I am mainly a wedding photographer and videographer. Check out my website, larsonprophotography.com. I also do a lot of video production for commercials and creative content. Check out my other website at skyportraitproductions.com. I hope to see you on the next one.